Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling something we all deal with, change. But not just getting through it, we're talking about how change makes you better. And our guide, this awesome piece from the Abundance Wellness Hub called Embracing Change, How to Thrive in Life's Transitions.
It really is packed with insights. We're breaking down the best strategies and mindset shifts just for you guys.
I'm pumped for this one because it's all about something I think you'll love, turning those scary transitions into serious personal growth moments. But gotta be real, change is hard. Our brains seem to want stability, that same routine.
Totally agree. And when things get shaken up, so much happens inside. Not just feeling out of sorts, it's deeper than that.
So break it down for us. What's going on in our heads when a big change hits?
Well, our brains are always looking out for danger. Anything new feels like a threat. That's why fear of the unknown is so powerful. We worry about what might go wrong. Stress kicks in.
Like when you got to give a presentation, your heart's racing, even though logically it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, your body's on alert. But change isn't just a quick burst of anxiety. It's this ongoing uncertainty that can wear you down.
Makes sense why even good change, that dream job, moving to a cool city, can feel overwhelming.
Of course, because even good change means leaving your comfort zone, facing new stuff. This source has a cool analogy. It compares change to learning to ride a bike.
Now I'm curious. Tell me more.
So, picture yourself as a kid, first time on a bike. You're excited but scared of falling, not balancing. You might even avoid getting on.
Oh, I remember that. All wobbly, thinking you'll crash any second.
Right, but the more you try, the better you get at it. That balance comes, riding becomes easy, confidence builds, and that fear turns into, like, freedom.
So facing change, even the scary kind, makes us better at handling whatever comes next.
Exactly. Every time you push through that discomfort, you're tougher. You're proving to yourself you can handle it.
I used to think resilience was just something you have or don't, but this makes it sound like a skill to build up.
100%. And that's key here. Not about dodging change that's impossible,
Yeah.
but about getting better at dealing with it, even making it work for us.
Okay, we get why change is tough, even when it's good. But now I want to know, why is embracing it like this superpower for growth? Where do we
Mm.
start?
Well, I think we got to start by saying change, it pushes us out of our comfort zones, right?
Ah,
That's just kind of how it works.
makes sense. We got to adapt to new stuff, so we're kind of stretching ourselves mentally and emotionally.
Exactly. That's stretching. That's where the good stuff happens. Think about a time you had a challenge where you had to learn something new. New job, maybe, or a language, or even just getting through something tough personally.
That makes me think of when I started podcasting. Terrified to use a mic, putting my voice out there for everyone.
Well, look at you now, killing it.
Didn't feel that way at first. But I wanted to learn, get better, and I pushed through that fear. And honestly, the more I did it, the easier it got, the more I realized I kind of liked it.
See, that's exactly what I mean. Embracing that discomfort can lead to, like, unexpected stuff, good stuff.
Yeah.
And our source today, they highlight this cool thing about change. It builds resilience.
We touched on that before, but I want to dig deeper. How does dealing with change make us tougher?
Resilience isn't just bouncing back. It's about being strong enough to handle the tough stuff in the first place. And the more we face change, the stronger we get inside.
So, like building up our immunity to stress and all that.
You got it. Every transition you get through, you're proving you can do it.
Yeah.
You're figuring out how to cope, how to solve problems. You get that feeling of, I did this. That helps with future challenges too.
That makes a lot of sense. But it's more than just toughness, right? I feel like change can shift how we see things, open us up to new possibilities.
Absolutely. When we step away from our routines, the familiar places, we see new ideas, different ways of thinking, different people. It can really open your eyes.
It's like traveling to a new country. Suddenly, you're in a whole other culture, and it makes you question what you thought you knew about the world.
Exactly. That's the exciting part. Change shakes us up, gets us out of that same old, and we see the world and ourselves differently. But to get to that good stuff, we need to change our mindset, be okay with letting go of the familiar.
All right, let's talk about that. How do we go from fearing change to being excited for it?
This source has some great stuff on that. It all starts with how we think about change. What is instead of a threat, it's an opportunity, a chance to grow, learn, maybe even have an adventure.
I like that. Instead of, oh no, here comes change, it's more like, bring it on. What can I learn from this?
Exactly. And a big part of that is being curious, not resisting the unknown, but being like, ooh, What's this about? What's in store for me?
There's definitely a theme here. Being okay with discomfort, being curious. Sounds like change is asking us to be more open, more adaptable in everything we do.
Spot on. And our source actually gives us a way to put this into practice. They call it the Embrace Change Toolkit, full of stuff to help you through those transitions smoothly.
Now we're talking. Our listeners love that practical advice. Let's break it down. What are some key tools we need?
Well, first things first, you got to acknowledge your feelings. Change is a roller coaster emotionally. If you try to bottle those feelings up, it'll be harder to deal with them. So let yourself feel anxious, unsure, excited, even a little scared. It's all part of it.
Like knowing the storm's there, but not letting it sink your ship.
Right. Feel it, but don't let it control you. It's about noticing those feelings, not judging them, and not letting them decide what you do.
Okay, that makes sense. What else can we add to this toolkit?
Next up, staying present. It's easy to get caught up worrying about the future or dwelling on the past, but that just makes the anxiety worse, and it's harder to focus on what's happening right now.
Guilty as charged. My brain loves to imagine the worst case scenarios, which, by the way, never happen.
We all do it. But the source we're looking at, they really emphasize mindfulness. Even something as simple as deep breathing or focusing on what you see, hear, feel can help a lot.
Mindfulness, yeah, I've heard it's great, but honestly, it seemed kind of intimidating. Like, does it take a lot of time and discipline?
It can be as simple or complex as you want. It's not about emptying your mind or meditating for hours. It's just bringing your attention to the present moment without any judgment.
So even just a few minutes a day, focusing on my breath or how my body feels can help me stay grounded.
Exactly. And the more you do it, the easier it is to find that feeling of being present, even when things are tough.
Okay, I'm willing to give it a shot. What else helps us get better at embracing change?
Next tool is about focusing on what you can control. Change often throws us curveballs, things we can't change. But there are always things we can influence. So instead of getting stuck on the stuff you can't change, focus your energy on what you can manage.
That's a good reminder that we always have some control, even when things feel chaotic.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And even small actions can make a big difference. Make your bed, organize your desk, create a relaxing space in your home, anything that gives you a sense of order, a feeling of being in control.
I like that. Taking back control, even in little ways. It's like, even if I can't control a storm, I can control how I handle it.
Perfect analogy. And that leads us to the next tool, breaking down big, overwhelming tasks into smaller, manageable steps. Don't try to do everything at once. Set small goals, achievable ones that move you forward bit by bit. Makes the whole thing less scary, and it feels good as you check things off your list.
That's so important, especially for someone like me who gets overwhelmed by big projects. Small steps, big wins.
Precisely. And last but not least, don't underestimate the power of asking for help. Talking to friends, family, mentors, even joining a support group. It gives you a safe place to process everything, get different perspectives, and feel encouraged. You don't have to go through this alone.
Right. Sometimes just venting to a friend or having someone who's been there listen to you can make all the difference. It's like sharing the weight makes it lighter.
Okay, so we've got a pretty good toolkit here. Acknowledging our emotions, staying present, focusing on what we can control, breaking things down, and asking for help. I'm feeling more ready for whatever changes come my way. We've covered so much already, figuring out why change is so tricky, and giving ourselves those tools to handle the transitions.
Yeah, it's like we've built this solid base.
Exactly. And now comes the really cool part, at least for me. It's where we go from just dealing with change to actually using it to, like, level up, grow and discover new things about ourselves.
That's it. It's not just reacting, it's being proactive, not letting change happen to us, but realizing we can kind of shape it, make it work for us.
Right. I'm all in. How do we do that?
This source, they talk about building what they call a change-embracing mindset.
So we're talking about, instead of seeing it as a threat.
We see it as an opportunity.
Exactly. I like that. And they say a big part of this mindset is curiosity. Right on. Curiosity. Instead of being scared of the unknown, we kind of lean into it, that sense of wonder, even excitement.
So it's like asking ourselves, what can I learn from this? What might this open up for me? How can I use this to become a better version of myself?
Exactly. It's like approaching change with fresh eyes, ready for new discoveries.
And another thing this mindset emphasizes is remembering our past wins.
Oh, that's so important. We forget how far we've come sometimes, all those hurdles we've already jumped over.
So true. So when we're facing a new change, how do we tap into that inner strength?
The source suggests take some time to think about past challenges you've handled well. Those times you felt unsure, maybe scared, but you pushed through, came out stronger.
I like that. It's like reminding ourselves, hey, we've got this. We've done tough things before. We can do this too.
You got it. And each time we do, that confidence, that resilience, it builds up, ready for the next challenge.
This reminds me of the whole growth mindset thing. I know that's something you're really passionate about.
Totally. Growth mindset is essential for embracing change because it's all about believing we can get better, our abilities, our intelligence. It can all grow through effort and learning.
So instead of seeing those challenges as setbacks, they become opportunities to get better.
Precisely. And when we come at change with that growth mindset, we're more likely to see it as a chance to learn new skills, expand our knowledge, and become more adaptable, more resilient.
This is all tying together so well. Curiosity, remembering our wins, that growth mindset. It's like building this inner strength to not just get through change, but actually thrive because of it.
You nailed it. And the more we do this stuff, the more confident and empowered we become in handling whatever life throws at us.
Which brings me to confidence. I think it's fair to say change can make us doubt ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. It's normal to feel shaky when we're stepping outside our comfort zone.
So how do we build that confidence up when we're going through a big transition?
This source has some great advice on that. It starts with being kind to ourselves.
Self-compassion, treating ourselves well throughout the whole process.
Exactly. Change is a learning curve. We're going to make mistakes. So being patient and understanding with ourselves is key.
That's such a good reminder. We're all human. We're all learning as we go.
And when we can be kind to ourselves like that, it makes everything so much easier.
It takes the pressure off, right? We can
Yeah.
focus on learning and growing instead of beating ourselves up for every little slip up.
Exactly. Along with self-compassion, it's also important to celebrate those little wins along the way.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes those small wins are what keep us going when it's tough.
For sure. So acknowledge your progress,
Yeah.
no matter how small it seems, and let yourself feel good about it.
It's like giving ourselves a little high five, saying, hey, you're doing great. Keep going.
You got it. And one more thing. Don't underestimate visualization.
Visualization. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
This source recommends taking a few minutes each day to picture yourself successfully going through this change. Imagine feeling confident, capable, thriving in that new situation.
So it's like making a mental movie of the outcome we want.
Exactly. And the more we do this positive visualization, the more we're actually training our brains for success.
Wow, that's powerful. Self-compassion, celebrating those small wins, visualization. It's like we're giving ourselves everything we need to not just get by, but to really step into change with confidence and grace.
That's exactly it. And remember, you get to choose how you react to change. You can let it control you, or you can use it to grow, to transform yourselves.
So well said. This has been such an insightful deep dive, packed with helpful strategies and really inspiring ideas. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us.
It's been my pleasure. Remember, change is going to happen no matter what, but growth, that's a choice.
And with the right tools, the right mindset, we can choose to embrace change and use it to create a life that's truly fulfilling and meaningful.
Couldn't agree more. So go out there, embrace the unknown, be curious, be brave, and keep that growth mindset. You've got this.
What a fantastic way to wrap up this deep dive. I'm feeling so inspired, and I hope you are too. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe to the deep dive for more conversations like this and practical advice to help you thrive in a world that's constantly changing. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep embracing that adventure of change.